Changi Airport is the major international airport serving Singapore, located about 25 km east of Singapore city centre. Serving air routes to more than 380 cities in 5 continents, Changi Airport becomes the major transit and destinations from major cities of Asia, Oceania and Europe. This extensive air route network makes Changi Airport one of the major contributors of the economy of Singapore. According to Economics Intelligence Unit of EIU in the year 2023, Singapore is one of the most expensive cities in the world, which makes flying in and out of Singapore as expensive as it sounds. Then, how does Changi Airport stand out and become one of the best airports in the world, if not the best? Let's take a flight to Singapore's major airport, because there is a smaller one, and understand the history of Changi Airport. Singapore earned its strategic reputation as a midway of maritime route between Middle East and East Asia. Most of the sea vessels pass by Singapore, refuel and restock, making Singapore a major entry port since the 19th century. However, Singapore is not geographically positioned to be strategic by the air route. Competing with the other regional airports in Bangkok, Jakarta and Kuala Lumpur, Changi Airport need to be stand out from the rest of all other airports in Southeast Asia. Changi Airport is the third international airport in Singapore after two of the early airports, Kallang and Paya Lebar. When Singapore accidentally got its independence in 1965, Changi was a backwater village with fishing as its major economy. There was a British Royal Air Force base called RAF Changi that was built during Japanese occupation of Singapore during World War II, the first civilian airport located in Kallang. Operated just in 18 years, Kallang was shut down and part of the former aerodrome is today the location of the National Stadium. There might be another video about Kallang Airport, subscribe if you are interested to watch. The second international airport was opened at Paya Lebar in 1954, replacing Kallang Airport and inherit the name Singapore International Airport. With the technology of faster and bigger jet aeroplanes, replacing turboprop and expanding urban area of Singapore, Paya Lebar deemed unsuitable for both expanding number of passengers and expanding townships. There is little room to expand or adding one more runway in Paya Lebar that hem with Tampines on the east and Hougang on the west. Meanwhile, the usage of jet aeroplanes instead of turboprop caused the noise concern when the aeroplanes take off or land in an airport surrounded by residential flats. Therefore, Singapore needs a bigger and more modern airport away from the residential areas to maintain its status as one of the stops of Kangaroo Route. Kangaroo Route is the term for the air route between the United Kingdom and Australia. The term Kangaroo Route was first coined by Qantas, the flag carrier of Australia, which trademarked the term since 1979 and unofficially used by air routes between the United Kingdom and Australia operated by other airlines. Qantas inaugurated the Kangaroo Route on the 1st of December 1947 between London and Sydney with several stops: Tripoli in Libya, Cairo, Calcutta, Singapore and Darwin. The air route across half the globe was named after how kangaroo moves around, hops and jumps and hops and jumps. In the early days of commercial aviation, aeroplanes were not strong enough to fly directly from London to Sydney, 52 hours of flight in total. Therefore, stopover is necessary to refuel and rest, hence the air route shaped like a path of kangaroo hopping. Singapore is one of the stops on the Kangaroo Route between London and Sydney. Tapping into Kangaroo Route is crucial as the deep-pocketed passengers often paid enormous ticket price with layovers after long hours of flight, the demand for lodging, food and a glorious airport. In addition, Cold War era between 1945 until 1991 means that the direct air route between Europe and Far East via Central Asia was unviable due to Soviet Union, USSR and Mao era China closed airspace, making Southeast Asia the transit between Europe and Far East and Oceania. When British started to reduce its military presence in Singapore as part of East of Suez policy in the late 1960s, the unemployment rate in Singapore increased as the employment in the British military bases vanished. Singapore cannot lose another source of income since the country is too small to extract any significant natural resources. As a result, Singapore harnesses the natural resources that is abundant around us, the sky. The land where Changi Airport stands today was the former British airfield built in 1944. Changi Air Base was redeveloped as Changi Airport for civilian use while former Singapore International Airport at Paya Lebar switched its role to military air base. Changi Air Base remained in operation at the airport peripheral. Changi was chosen due to its location at the edge of Pulau Ujong, which is the name of mainland Singapore. Now you know. Its edge location gives Changi an edge over Paya Lebar, far from any townships, which means less concern of noise, and the location next to the sea allows for airport expansion. NACO Netherlands, the same consultant that designed Amsterdam Airport Schiphol in the Netherlands, designed the master plan of Changi Airport. Based on the initial master plan, Changi will eventually have 2 runways and 4 terminals connected with the highway to the rest of Singapore. Amazingly, the later planners stick with the master plan, and the current design of Changi Airport today is in as much similar to the master plan drafted back in 1976. Changi Airport was opened on the 1st of July 1981 and Paya Lebar Airport was fully converted into an air base on the same day. As a result, Changi Airport inherited the International Air Transport Association or IATA code of SIN and International Civil Aviation Organization or ICAO code of WSSSS. However, Changi Airport did not inherit the name Singapore International Airport unlike its predecessors, as all the civilian airports in Singapore are serving international air routes, no domestic route. To get an idea how small Singapore is, driving a car from one end to another is about 40 minutes. Who is able to fly between Changi and Seletar anyway? There are 4 terminals in Changi Airport, started with Terminal 1, as its name, is the first terminal of Changi Airport when the airport was opened back in 1981. Replacing Paya Lebar, Terminal 1 was equipped with 22 air bridges, a modern amenity that only the select airports in the world would have at that time. Myla Court Waterfall, the indoor waterfall, was installed when the Terminal 1 was under construction. When the terminal was renovated in the year 2012, the indoor waterfall was removed and replaced with kinetic rain art installment on its place. The location is above the escalator heading towards Jewel. Therefore, the Instagrammable and TikTokable indoor waterfall in Jewel is the successor of the former Terminal 1 indoor waterfall. On its earliest days of the opening back in 1981, guided tours into the airside, which means after immigration, were conducted with 50 Singaporean cent fee per person. Within 2 weeks after the opening, about 250,000 visitors visited Terminal 1 in a country that had about 2.5 million people of population. Together with Terminal 1, a control tower stands tall in the middle of the airport area, marks the end of Airport Boulevard, the road that linked the airport terminal with Pan Island Expressway (PIE) and East Coast Parkway (ECP). The control tower is the symbol of the airport since its early days. The tower is engraved on the 20-cent coins issued since 2013. Today, the Terminal 1 looks different than when it was first opened in 1981 after a series of renovations and the automation of ticketing and baggage drop. By 1986, more than 10 million passengers used Terminal 1 and the number was projected to increase afterwards. Due to continuously increasing number of passengers, a new terminal was needed. Located at the south of Terminal 1, as its name, Terminal 2 is the second terminal in Changi Airport. Terminal 2 was opened on 22nd of November 1990, about 9 years after the first terminal. Initially, Terminal 2 was planned to be linked with Terminal 1 with pedestrian bridges. In the scorching and sweating hot tropical weather, who is willing to walk or run to the other terminal to catch the next flight? The solution? SkyTrain. Both Terminal 1 and Terminal 2 are connected with Automated People Mover or APM, making the transfer between the terminals in an air-conditioned carriage comfortable. Previously, the model APM 100 built by Artrans was used until 2006. Don't be upset if you missed the ride in the older SkyTrain because the similar model has been used for Bukit Panjang LRT in northwest Singapore. If there is a link appeared on the top on this video, the video is ready. If not, let's finish the story of Changi Airport first. Today's SkyTrain system was upgraded to Mitsubishi Crystal Mover operated between Terminal 1, 2 and 3. If you have time, try to take a ride between Terminal 2 and 3. There was a temporary exhibition about the history of Changi Airport on the second floor of Terminal 2 that was held until 31st of March 2024. Quite an information there, the planning of an airport, the construction, the current shape and the future vision. To accommodate more passengers and latest technology, Terminal 2 was renovated and the upgrading works completed in the year 2006. Terminal 2 has been renovated again and reopened on the 1st of November 2023. The earlier terminals are similarly designed with most of the airport terminals around the world before the renovation, but it is Terminal 3 that gives Changi Airport its classy image. This is the terminal that defines Changi of its grander design, amenities and modernity that are followed by Terminal 1 and Terminal 2 when the older terminals were renovated. Despite the name, Terminal 3 is actually the fourth terminal of Changi Airport. I will explain later on. Opened on 9th of January 2008, Terminal 3 or T3 integrate bright and open space, eco-friendliness and technology. The terminal interior is decorated with lush greenery matched with the national policy of Garden City, which makes the bright open space, because plants need sunlight for photosynthesis, more welcoming than the grey concrete blocks in the previous terminals. After number 3 is number 4. Terminal 4 is built on the site of former budget terminal that caters the Budget Airlines, opened on March 2006. This was the third terminal. Terminal 3 is the fourth. Because of its no-frills design, Budget Terminal was not bestowed with the number 3, and oddly the fourth terminal is named Terminal 3. The design is minimal. Tiles instead of carpets, bricks instead of glass panes at the wall, and stairs instead of air bridges. Budget Terminal was intended to be the solution for the budget airlines that prefer no-frills amenities to keep the flight ticket price low. However, the Budget Terminal was designed as the complete opposite of the opulent Terminal 3 that was constructed at the same time. As a consequence, Budget Terminal is akin of an airport terminal in a developing country, missing the pizzazz and glam associated with Changi Airport brand. Budget Terminal was closed on September 2012 and later demolished to make room for the brand new Terminal 4. Terminal 4 was opened on the 31st of October 2017, completing all the 4 terminals that was envisioned in the master plan back in 1976, albeit its location slightly differ from the original plan. As with the lesson learned from the former budget terminal, the focus on the budget savings is on the manpower and efficiency, not the architecture and the amenities. Terminal 4 is the first terminal in Changi Airport that is fitted with self-check-in kiosks and self-baggage drop counters, reducing the number of staffs needed. Therefore, all the passengers in Terminal 4 need to print their own tickets and baggage tag. The automation did not stop at the flight facilities. Instead of facing a stern-looking immigration officer, the immigration area looks like this. Visitors from 60 countries are able to use the automated immigration lane, including first-time visitors. Don't forget to fill up the Singapore Arrival Card or SGSC online, in the computer or in the app, or before the immigration area, because this paper form, the Arrival Card paper one, is no longer in use since 2021. By the success of Terminal 4, the automation of the check-in process and immigration clearance expanded to the other terminals. Primarily serving budget airlines such as AirAsia, Cebu Pacific and Vietjet, there are mainstream airlines using Terminal 4 such as Cathay Pacific and Korean Air. All transfer to the other terminals and Changi Airport MRT station is by shuttle bus. As in 2024, Terminal 4 is the only terminal in Changi Airport that is not connected neither by travelator nor train. Sandwiched between Terminal 1, 2 and 3, Jewel is one of the latest additions to Changi Airport. Jewel is technically a shopping centre and often erroneously assumed as one of the terminals of Changi Airport. It is because the nearby Terminal 1 is directly connected to Jewel Underground. As many as you know, the Jewel's jewel of attraction is designed by Israeli architect Moshe Safdie, who also designed Marina Bay Sands. Jewel is designed as the next attraction of Singapore, making Changi Airport a proper destination than a mere transit. With a cost of 1.7 billion Singaporean dollars, Jewel was officially opened on 18th October 2019. Unlike the terminals where the shops mostly cater to the travellers, Jewel targeted both foreign visitors and locals to shop and dine. This is one of the strategies to expand the airport income beyond the flight-related business. Of course, the centerpiece of Jewel is Vortex Rainfall, the tallest indoor man-made waterfall in the world, sponsored by HSBC. Be patient everyone, influencers are working hard. Before the existence of Jewel, this site was a former open car parking. In 2012, the car parking between Terminal 1 and Control Tower was closed for a redevelopment project codenamed Project Jewel. In a country with tightly controlled mainstream media, some Singaporeans channel dissatisfaction of Project Jewel in the social media for several reasons. Closure of a car parking area, congestion due to construction works, and criticism are mainly due to 1.7 billion Singaporean dollars funded by private companies for a 3-hectare shopping mall. After the completion of Jewel, most of the criticism vanished. Jewel is the next symbol of Changi Airport, overshadowing the nearby Control Tower that stood next to the mall. With the pre-2020 passenger rate of more than 60 million passengers per annum, Singapore has put its vision ahead to increase the capacity of Changi Airport in the 21st century. According to the Business Times, Changi Airport handled 58.9 million passengers in 2023, which nears the pre-2020 level of 63 million passengers. Therefore, a need of a new terminal. Terminal 5 is under construction, currently scheduled to be open sometime in the mid-2030. The brand new terminal will be connected to the existing terminals with underground passages that carry APM, baggage conveyors and service routes. Due to what happened when the whole world was under shutdown between 2020 and 2023, Terminal 5 construction progress was delayed as the existing terminals start to fill up again. There are other major cities in Southeast Asia such as Jakarta and Bangkok with more population and Kuala Lumpur nearby with lower landing fee. Thus, why Changi? Until the early 20th century, visitors arrived in Singapore by sea. But in the digital era, only cruise ship passengers and ferry passengers from Indonesia are mainly arrived by sea. By land, Singapore is only connected to neighbouring Johor, Malaysia, where most of the Malaysians and Singaporeans visiting each other crossing the border. Johor Causeway, one of the 2 land crossings between Singapore and Malaysia, is the busiest international border crossing in the world with more than 300,000 crossings daily. Topic for another video. Therefore, Changi Airport is the gateway for the rest of the world to arrive in Singapore. How does Changi Airport maintain its position as one of the best airports, if not the best airport in the world? Number 1, the best airport should be served by the best airlines. Changi is the home ground of Singapore Airlines, consistently rated at 5-star airline by Skytrax. Singapore Airlines is one of the few operators of double-decker A380 and one of the airlines that offers suite class, a room in the sky. In addition, other airlines that operate the Kangaroo route such as Qantas and Emirates use Changi as a transit hub. AirAsia, Malaysia-based budget airlines operated mainly from Terminal 4, linking Changi with the cities across Southeast Asia. Number 2, the amenities. Terminal 1 has large viewing gallery to see the aircraft moving around, and this terminal is the first terminal in the world that have swimming pool on the airside. Terminal 3 has a butterfly garden, a movie theatre and a 5-star hotel. The open-air movie theatre show the latest movies for free. Also the slides. To ride one, a membership in the airport loyalty program is needed. There are a number of YouTubers who try to stay in Changi Airport as a challenge. A pleasant challenge to be stranded in the best airport in the world. Try to stay 24 hours in Ipoh Airport. Anyone dares to? Number 3. The connectivity in the air and in the ground. Changi Airport is connected with more than 380 cities with more than 100 airlines landed and departed from Changi. On ground, all terminals are connected with Airport Boulevard with public transport including bus and MRT. Number 4. Efficiency. Instead of manual check-in at the counter which consumes a lot of time and created long queues, all terminals in Changi Airport are equipped with self-check-in kiosks. This is one of the reasons why budget airlines encourages self-check-in, reducing the cost of staff's counter rent and saving the time. Why do the check-in at the airport when you can do check-in online at home while watching Farming World Facts? The idea of automated check-in process has been tested since 2013 and fully implemented on Terminal 4 before being expanded into Terminal 1, 2 and 3 during the renovation. After the automated check-in process, package drop is automated as well, followed by the automated immigration lane. Previously, the long queue is common in immigration area as each of the passengers need to be inspected manually by the immigration officer. Since 2022, selected foreign visitors are able to use the automated immigration lane including first-time visitors. Today, visitors from 60 countries are able to use automated immigration lane. And how fast and secure is that? Scan the passport biodata page, walk to the middle, face camera, fingerprint and off you go. The whole process took about 30 seconds, way faster than manual inspection. Since automated lane only accepted machine-readable passport, the percentage of human errors and long queues can be reduced. Just pray that the machine did not break down. So far, the airport security clearance and custom inspections are still handled in person, albeit with scanning machines. Other than automated immigration clearance, I found out that there is an automated parking enforcement when a robot took a picture of illegally parked car outside Jewel. Beep beep bob, illegal parking. Increasing efficiency without adding more space and manpower is one of the main reasons that Changi Airport is able to outpace the other major airports in the world. Number 5. Think beyond passengers for an income. Often the airport prioritise airline passengers and focus on lounges and fast-track security checks. Jewel targeted the well-wishers, tourists who arrive by sea or land, or locals who come for a lunch, a wider consumer targets that are willing to spend the money. In fact, it is uncommon elsewhere in Southeast Asia to come to the airport just to shop or eat unless someone is a well-wisher or a plane spotter aka aviation geek, including in Kuala Lumpur. Unlike the passengers who come and go, locals are able to come to the airport on a regular basis. How important is Changi Airport to Singapore's economy? Number 1. Financial sector. According to Harvard Atlas of Economic Complexity, more than 15% of the export value of Singapore is insurance and finance. The saying goes, time is money. An efficient and elegant airport welcomes the financial and bankers who value time as they value money. Such an importance that the bird's view of Changi Airport was featured on the riverside of the third series of 100 Singaporean dollars issued between 1985 until 1999. According to Ministry of Transport Singapore, Changi Airport directly contributed more than 5% of the gross domestic product (GDP) and provide almost 200,000 jobs. The number is not including the sectors strongly related to air travel such as high-value cargo services and tourism, which is number 2, tourism. Extensive air route makes Singapore an attractive tourist destination with easy connection to major cities in Asia. Combined with the slowness of the ferry and congested land border crossings, air routes become the default choice for the tourists to visit Singapore directly from their home cities. Number 3. Cargo services. As aeroplanes are faster than ships, the number of high-value goods are transported by air instead of sea or land. Sending air by cargo saves a lot of time and often more secure as there is no pirate roaming in the sky so far. High-value goods with little weight are suitable for air cargo, computer chips, smartphone components, banknotes, even flowers. As a conclusion, Changi Airport is a microcosm, a gateway for the foreigners to get a glimpse of Singapore as a modern city-state. Modern, efficient, space-savvy, and expensive. Yet remembers the local who throng the airport with leisurely activities, making the airport live all day. Have you ever arrived or transited or visited Changi Airport? You can comment down below. Changi Airport connects more than 380 cities in more than 100 countries and territories in 5 continents. On the ground, the airport is connected with PIE and ECP to the rest of Singapore. Public transport include MRT East-West Line branch between Changi Airport MRT station and Tanah Merah MRT station via Expo. There are public bus services linking Changi Airport and several parts of Singapore as well. Taxi and e-hailing are serving the airport as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new about Changi Airport and how the airport stands out to become one of the best airports in the world. Thank you so much for watching again and see you in the next video.